Good morning. I'm Andy Myers at Weiss Research.
I'm Jen Amos, and this is your morning market update for Tuesday, November 8th. Stocks on Wall Street are following the European markets higher amid renewed optimism about the EU's ability to tackle the sovereign debt crisis. Many traders seem to be hoping that Italian Prime Minister Silvio Berlusconi is on his way out. His government is facing what would normally be a routine budget vote in Parliament today, but experts say the measure could fail, which would likely set up a confidence vote on Berlusconi's leadership. He has denied reports that he's preparing to resign, but his grasp on power has been slipping amid several recent defections from his ruling coalition. And now, many critics doubt his ability to implement fiscal and economic reforms. Against this backdrop, Italy's 10-year government bond rose to a Euro-era record above 6.6%, but it's now dropping back a bit. Ireland and Greece were forced to ask for bailouts when their benchmark bonds hit similar levels.
Speaking of Greece, investors are also waiting to see who the next prime minister of that country will be after George Papandreou stepped down earlier this week. Greece's leaders are trying to form a new unity government, and their first order of business will be to commit to the terms of the country's latest bailout package. International lenders reportedly are prepared to release the next 8 billion euros of aid to Greece as part of that deal. That news is giving a boost of more than 2% to both the CAC 40 in Paris and Frankfurt's DAX index. And the euro is rising back above $1.38 against the greenback. The dollar's relative weakness is helping crude oil jump by more than $1 this morning. It's now approaching $97 a barrel. But one commodity not participating in the rally is gold. It's holding steady at around $1,790 an ounce as investors move toward riskier assets such as stocks and oil.
The Asian markets were relatively flat overnight, but we did see a more than 1% decline in Tokyo's Nikkei 225. That drop was almost entirely due to a 29% tumble in Olympus before trading in those shares was halted. The camera maker admitted that it covered up years of losses on investments by paying out over $1 billion in improper merger fees. Olympus had previously denied any wrongdoing, and the company's board fired CEO Michael Woodford in September after he tried to force an investigation into payments. The scandal now threatens to become one of the biggest cases of accounting fraud in corporate history. Olympus had already lost more than half its stock market value since the accusations came to light, and investors fear that Olympus may eventually be delisted from the Tokyo Stock Exchange.
Turning to U.S. corporate news, we're keeping an eye on shares of McDonald's. The fast food giant reported a 5.5% increase in October global same-store sales. The U.S. saw relatively strong growth, but most of the sales gains were driven by the Asia-Pacific, Middle East, and Africa region, especially Australia, China, and Japan. McDonald's is rising about 1% on the news. But one of the day's biggest stock winners is Dynegy, surging about 20%. The energy company and 4 subsidiaries filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection and announced a deal with a group of investors to restructure its balance sheet. And finally, Priceline.com is gaining more than 4% in early trading. After yesterday's closing bell, the online travel site reported third-quarter earnings that more than doubled from a year ago. That's the latest from Weiss Research. Have a great trading day.